Hi guys,
welcome back again to the channel. We've been away for a while and we got married during the period we've been away. We are going to be doing a story time about that, and let's get right into today's reaction.
Tomorrow is Veterans Day, November the 11th, when we honor our nation's heroes. Across the Atlantic, it's called Armistice Day, when they commemorate the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, marking the end of World War I. And the hundreds of thousands of British soldiers who gave their lives are being remembered this year in breathtaking fashion at the historic Tower of London.
wow.
It's always been said that going back to the Napoleonic Wars, through World War I and then World War II, it was the poppy that grew back first on the battlefields where the land was left scorched and bare, and around the freshly buried
I didn't know that history about it. Like,
Yeah.
it was a pop. No wonder they use it to,
To
remembrance of
represent
the soldiers.
them.
And I'm so sorry this video is coming up late. We didn't know, like, we had a lot of activities and we were not able to film this video on the Remembrance Day, because I actually wanted the video to go up on that particular day, but here we are.
Because of our wedding and
Yeah.
everything, so apologies for that.
bodies of the dead. And now they stand as a memorial in a country that honors its war dead like no other. And for some visitors, the power of it all is overwhelming.
It's a shame that something so bad had to become something so beautiful. Every fallen soldier, every person who's given their life so bravely.
888,246 ceramic poppies, one each for the 888,246 British soldiers killed in the First World War. It was a Canadian Army field doctor who survived the withering combat of World War I and wrote the poem that made the poppy the icon of remembrance that it is today. In Flanders fields, the poppies blow between the crosses row on row. At this time of year in Canada and the UK, they can be seen on the lapels of the grateful generations who followed. This expanse started with a single poppy, and then the volunteers went to work. As the months went by, as summer gave way to fall, through London fog and rain and sun, patches of red became a field of red. And now look at the view from the air. They have been visited by royalty and by relatives of the dead, and by 4 million people in between. They file past and pay tribute. These were all young men once. They were lined up here at the Tower of London to go off and fight for country and kingdom and what was right. It may be the most vivid way of remembering them. And before we all look away, think of the lives they would have led.
So sad.
100 years since the first shot was fired.
Start.
Right now, here in the UK, many people are wearing an artificial red flower on their clothing. This normally occurs during late October and early November. For those who are unfamiliar with this annual custom, I will explain how it came to be and why we do it. The red flower in question is a poppy. It is a plant that grows abundantly in many parts of the world. There are many varieties of poppy, but the one that most people are familiar with is the red poppy. The wearing of a red poppy is done symbolically as a way of commemorating those who died during the First World War. The symbolism of the poppy is a strong one, as the flower itself is often associated with such themes as sleep, peace, and death. The origins of wearing a red poppy date back over 100 years. In 1915, Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae wrote a poem in tribute to all those who'd perished during the First World War. He called the poem In Flanders Field. Shortly after World War I, a commemoration ceremony was held in London in 1919 by the then King George V. The end of the First World War occurred on November 11th with the signing of an armistice with Germany. An armistice is a peace agreement. At that time, many peace agreements had just been signed by countries such as Bulgaria, Austria, and the Ottoman Empire. It was later decided that the final armistice signing would be commemorated each year on November 11th at 11 a.m., the exact time when the guns fell silent and the so-called Great War came to an end. The wearing of poppies during these commemorations did not come into being until 1921. After the Great War, the influence of John McCrae's poignant poem still resonated with many. After reading the poem, Moyna Michael, a professor at the University of Georgia, wrote the poem We Shall Keep the Faith and swore to wear a red poppy on the anniversary. The custom spread to Europe and the countries of the British Empire and Commonwealth within 3 years. In the UK, Major George Howson fostered the cause with the support of General Haig. Poppies were worn for the first time at the 1921 anniversary ceremony. At first, real poppies were worn. These poppies bloomed across some of the worst battlefields of Flanders in World War I. Their brilliant red colour became a symbol for the blood spilled in the war.
Lasted for 4 years.
These days, paper poppies are widely worn, with the proceeds from their sale going to good causes. Poppy Day or Armistice Day is still held each year on November 11th, with a 2-minute silence being observed at 11 o'clock in the morning. This ceremony takes place around the world in countries belonging to the British Commonwealth, including Australia, Canada, India, South Africa, and New Zealand. In the United Kingdom, commemorations are held on the Sunday nearest the 11th day, with what is known as Remembrance Sunday. In London's Whitehall, the ceremonial placing of wreaths takes place at a stone structure known as the cenotaph.
Wow. Queen Elizabeth.
It is a sad fact that as well as commemorating the First War, we now also remember those who died during subsequent battles for freedom and peace. In 2016, once again, millions of people around the world will wear their poppy to remember those who fought and died for the freedom many of us enjoy today.
It does not come cheap. It comes with a heavy cost of life. Heavy cost of life. So amazing how
people just, our heroes, let's say heroes, they had this spirit in them, or they are never going to give up until they get what they want.
Yeah.
we enjoy freedom today, and most of us actually don't appreciate it. That is the fact. And there is always a reason why you see the military are always my best people in the world, because every single day of our lives they are making sacrifices for us. As you are sitting down here, I can categorically tell you with evidence and fact that there is a soldier out there laying down his life down for the safety of you and I. All over the world, the same thing is going on. And anytime I see people disrespect our military, it pisses me off. Like,
people go through a lot.
They go through a lot. Some of them sleep
They
in
have
caves.
families. Imagine their families coming back like, oh, your son is dead.
Look at this one now, 800 and something. They died far from home. In another man's land, fighting for freedom, for which every one of us is enjoying today. And then we wake up one morning, we are disregarding it. We're taking it for granted. Some of us needs to be actually sat down and flogged to say thank you.
Put on the floor.
Do you understand? And say thank you. I feel like there should be a day where the whole world comes out and say thank you to these men and women that are sacrificing their life on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Respect them a lot, which I really
You understand? It's not easy. Come on, guys.
What do you think about
Like this is like since 1941, and I'm seeing that the whole ritual of remembrance is still there. It's actually a great thing to see that every in every year November 11th 11 o'clock, people still stand to remember these fallen soldiers, and it's really emotional and sad if you really want to look at it. And I don't really want to dwell in the emotional part, but I want to dwell in the fulfillment of their fight for us, because currently we are, being free, we are in peace, almost at peace, and it's just emotional. Like it's just touching and very heartwarming for me. Let me know what you think about this down below in the comment section. Do not forget to like, subscribe to the channel. We love you guys, and bye.